So it's a beautiful day out here on the farm. I've got a little project to take care of right here. Had a big beautiful oak tree, probably a 7-foot diameter tree. Blew down over the weekend during a storm. Apparently this tree was hollow. So it was a little deceiving. This is the inside of it. Completely dead. Lots of termite or ant. Looks like there was a lot of life growing in here. These are some of the limbs. These are probably 18-inch limbs on the tree. Some larger limbs, like 2-foot limbs. It's going to take a little work to clean it up. So what I'm looking at doing is got a Bobcat with a Forestry Mulcher. So I think I'm going to take care of this in like 3 different steps. First, I'll get the Bobcat with the mulcher and mulch all of these smaller limbs all the way back to where they're too large, and then whatever is left over, chainsaw the branches and trunks of the tree into probably 15-foot lengths or so. And I've got a ravine close by that I'll put the grapple in on the Bobcat and carry the logs to the ravine and place them in the ravine. And that's also a good erosion control step. But this tree, I would guess, is a couple 100 years old. Just incredibly massive. But this is life on the farm, baby. So there's Bobcat, Forestry Mulcher. Lots of big teeth. Just going to eat this up. And probably get this done in a day or two, I'm thinking. Probably most of it today. These bigger parts I'm going to have to figure out, just from the safety aspect, how to pull that apart since it's all split. I'm not sure where it's going to fall. But that's it. There's a project. Ready to get busy.
spend it standing in line for a cash advance. Same-day funding at af247.com is the answer to get cash when you need it without the wait. The Flex loan from af247.com is not a payday loan. It's an open-end line of credit. You only pay for the money you need and only for the time you need it. There's no lump sum payment. Get the cash you need in minutes at af247.com. From your Flex loan to your bank account, flexibility is good.
There'll be an interruption of electrical service Sunday morning, September 10th at 12:01 a.m., lasting approximately 4 hours. This TVA outage will affect 2,292 Pennyroll Electric members in the following locations: South Road to Donaldson Creek Road, Highway 272 East, Highway 124, Highway...
This is the end result of cleaning up this giant oak that fell over in a windstorm. That was the oak, so that was about 6 or 7 foot diameter oak that was gigantic and beautiful, beautiful shape to it, full. This was kind of like a sister tree, which is not, I always thought this one was going to fall down first, but it was the same height and everything. This one has a lot of dead branches and things on it, but I thought that one would go first, but this one actually went first because it had a hollow trunk. But so earlier in the videos, my camera battery only lasted about 2.5 hours. To clean this tree up took me 3.5 hours to get it to this far. I still have the trunk to deal with somehow. But so what I did again is went over this. So as the tree was laying here, I had my forestry mulcher. I mulched all the branches down, which was a good portion of the tree, the part that makes the mess, to try to take care of. So I was left with probably about 20 feet of trunk, and a lot of the bigger branches were, I mean, some of the branches were 12, 15-inch branches. I mean, it was a gigantic, beautiful tree. But so I mulched off all the branches to where I can get in and work. Got in there with my chainsaw. It just took me about 30 minutes to buck up all the limbs into about 15-foot lengths. And then I put the grapple on my Bobcat and ran it down to a gully that I'll show you in a minute. But this is the result. This is the result of forestry mulching, as you can see. It goes from everything from fine mulch to a little bigger things, just to give you an idea of size. Now this will just degrade back into the soil and help my pasture up here grow next year. This is October, so everything is kind of settling down now for the fall, which is good. I don't have to mow this the rest of the year until next May. But this project went pretty quick with the equipment that I had, with the forestry mulcher, the Bobcat with the grapple, and my chainsaw, of course, which I always kind of enjoy my chainsaw. So now with this thing, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this yet. Again, it's broken out and hollow. There's a lot of good wood all around it, though. What I was thinking of doing, so this whole back is still solid, but this front piece has split off. Just kind of for fun and kind of to honor this big old tree, I think I'm going to cut off this front and take it off, clean up the inside, kind of trim off the top, and just for fun, probably cut this part of the tree into some slabs, kind of make a little stairway up there and maybe a little bench to sit up on the top. I hate to get rid of this tree. I mean, it's been around here for probably a couple, 200-300 years, but it'll be a nice view from up here to come up and sit when I'm knee-high in Kentucky 31 pasture grass. Be a nice peaceful place. But I want to take you for a quick ride and show you what I did with the limbs. So if you're a landowner, this is like a forestry best practice as far as erosion. To put logs in a gully. I'll show you when we get there. So this is what I did with my logs. My property basically, it starts, my back line of my property starts in the back of that third tree there and goes up the hill. So what I want to do is extend this trail and come up through this way along my back property line. But what I had here, this is a dry creek. So it comes down through this valley, it's just a dry creek, gets the water runoff. Then here, for some reason, it just kind of dropped straight down about 10 feet. So it just made this big wash, erosion wash. So one thing that loggers do, or just foresters will recommend, is to fill these kind of gullies up. And so what I did is, this is not very neat because a lot of these things were bent and twisted, but is to just clean off the logs, all the branches off the logs, and kind of try to stack them in there as tight as you can. Because as things erode down here, whether it's leaves or dirt, future erosion, it'll all get stuck up in here. As you can see, leaves and things are starting to fall on it already since this is October. And over time, once it has all the bigger, like leaves and twigs and sticks, and it gets progressively bigger, then the dirt erosion, the natural erosion that's going to happen, will start getting clogged up in that, and it'll start building itself back up. So that's what I'm intending to do. So I put some logs there, and I had a couple here, and it would have been nice to be able to cover this, but this will work for now for getting my trail to continue right between these trees. And I'll fill this up, whether it does it naturally or I have some work to do in another field up here, and I'll continue to bring down just debris and things like that and pile it in here and let it settle in. And but eventually it'll be a solid enough surface to run a trail over it. So what I'm talking about, so what this is kind of like what they call a check dam. So there's two things really that have to do with erosion, that cause erosion, and that's volume of water and the speed of water. So if you can fix either one of those two things, the speed or the volume of water, you can keep your erosion under control. And you can see here, these are natural. This is what water will do. This is what things will do naturally. So water comes down here, pushes up the sticks. They get caught up on the trees or whatever. And then leaves start piling in here. And then dirt will start backing up on it. Here's another one. As you can see, this is probably 2.5, 3 feet deep. And on that side, it's not, it's just a foot. But everything will pile up on there and just kind of like start building itself back up. And over time, if this was solid enough, it would build back up. And I do have some other places on my farm here that I have done this, like a few years ago, and it works great. And I will take you down. I probably need to organize these logs a little bit better so they fit in here. Right now I just dumped these with my grapple, so they just kind of fell where they fell. But I'll take care of that. So let me go down and I'll show you another part that's actually worked really well. Sometimes it's fun just taking a ride on the Ranger through the woods. Let's see if I can find you a good example of how these check dams work. So, as I cleared out these woods with my forestry mulcher, and so what I do is normally cut the trees down. I'll cut off all the small stuff on top and leave the logs, and then cut the tree off with a chainsaw, and then I'll forestry mulch the stumps flush. Then I'll bring the logs over and I put them in a ravine. So this is probably 7 or 8 feet deep also, as you can see. So this is kind of downstream. There's another dry creek, but you can see on this side it's 5 or 6, 7, 8 feet deep down here. The trees that I had here happen to be cedar, and they all packed in here nice and tightly. So on this side, this whole thing was about the same depth. So I dropped all these logs in here. That's about 7 or 8 feet deep. When you go up to here, it's dirt. So all the debris has come in here. It's buried the logs, and you can see some of the logs buried down here. And they were down there 6 or 7 feet. So the erosion and things like that will come and fill all this stuff up. And as you can see, it's from the rest of the bank now, it might be 2 feet deep, which is totally fine. It still gives the water a channel to run down, but it won't get any lower than where the logs are now, because the logs will always kind of hold the dirt and debris in here. So this is just an example of forestry, kind of a best management practice, and to control your erosion. So all this dirt that's getting caught up here is not going further downstream into the bigger streams or rivers. And it also does me a help to build these gullies back up. And all this stuff is a time-lapse process. So hopefully over the years it will, kind of fill in nicely all over. This was the same way. You can see it's deep over here and it's dirt up here. Same with this pile of weeds growing. You can see logs underneath it. This again was all logs. You can see logs buried here, and over time they catch all the erosion and it starts filling up. So this is a good way to take care of some of your gullies. Number one, to keep them from getting worse, and number two, to build some check dams to control erosion. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're a landowner and this is new information to you, or if you have any questions, I'm just a landowner myself. Ask me some questions, and it's always good to share. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll try to get some more informational videos out there for you. Thanks.